welcome back to our channel, and our topic for today is all about principles and elements of design applied in architecture. Visual design elements. 6 integral components used in the creation of a design are lines, colors, form and shapes, space, textures, and value. Now let's go to the meaning of different kinds of line. Types of line. Vertical represents dignity, formality, stability, and strength. Horizontal lines represent calm, peace, and relaxation. Diagonal lines represents action, activity, excitement, and movement. Curved lines represent freedom, the natural, having the appearance of softness, and creates a soothing feeling or mood. Examples of building rendered vertically. The Empire State Building, the architect Shrevey Lamb and Harmon. Also the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin and the skyscraper in Madrid, Spain are both in vertical lines. These are examples of horizontal lines buildings. The Microsoft Office, the Community Christian Church in Kansas City by Frank Lloyd Wright. Diagonal lines, these are buildings almost rendered asymmetrically, but there are also formal buildings rendered in diagonal lines. Okay, so these are the examples. Curved lines. Okay, during the age of Baroque art and Deco art, the building uses curve. Example in the modern architecture, here is the Sydney Opera by Joran Utzon. This is the architecture of Expressionism. He uses curved dome-like roof. Color. Color has an immediate and profound effect on a design. It's like these houses in Mexico and St. Basil Cathedral in Moscow. It uses intense color and it has effect on a human. Warm colors like reds, oranges, yellows are colors that has a very stimulating effect. Cool colors anyways like blues, purples and greens has soothing effect or calmness. Color can affect how humans feel and act by looking at each color. Each person have its or his favorite colors. Form and shape. Form 3D the shape and structure of something as distinguished from its substance or material. Shape 2D, two-dimensional contour that characterizes an object or area. The form and shape. Oriental Pearl Tower, Shanghai by architect Jiang Wanqing. This is belong to the modern architecture. The Marie Elisabeth Luder's house in Berlin, Germany uses also different kind of shape. Space. By incorporating the use of space in your design, you can enlarge or reduce the visual space. Types: open, uncluttered spaces, cramped, busy spaces, unused versus good use space. By incorporating the use of space in your design, you can enlarge or reduce the visual space. Types: open, uncluttered spaces, cramped, unused, and use space. Example, let's go to texture. The surface look or feel of something is called texture. Smooth surface reflects more light and therefore is more intense color. Rough surface absorb more light and therefore appears darker. Smooth texture like glass facade of a high-rise building is smooth and it reflects lots of light. Exterior metal facade of Disney Concert Hall in Los Angeles. While rough texture like this one absorb more light and it doesn't almost reflect lights. Value is the relative lightness or darkness of a color or of any color. Methods: shade, degree of darkness of a color; tint, a pale or faint variation of a color. How you can apply value of colors in your facade of your building? Like this one, it uses only two colors. The downtown buildings in Bangalore, India. Visual design principles, 7 principles encompass an interesting design. These are balance, rhythm, emphasis, proportion, and scale, movement, contrast, and unity. Balance, parts of the design are equally distributed to create a sense of stability. Both physical and visual balance exist. Types of balance: there is symmetrical or formal, there is asymmetrical or informal balance, radial balance, vertical balance, and horizontal balance. Now let's go to symmetrical or formal balance. The elements within the design are identical in the relation to a center line or axis. For example, the Taj Mahal Mausoleum in Agra. This is constructed by Shah Jahan, the husband of Taj Mahal. Balance on about asymmetrical, or this is informal now. So parts of the design are not identical but are equal in visual weight. Take note, guys. Only equal in visual weight but not in the form or shape, that they are equal or balanced. So that's why it is called asymmetrical balance. Look at the example at the right side. It is less in weight, and in the right side more on weight. The balance, radial balance. Design elements radiate outward from the center. Example here, the dome. These are radial balance. The vertical balance, the top and the bottom parts are equal. The top and the bottom parts are equal. So example here, the towers, the bottom and the top are equal. So that is example of that balance. Horizontal balance, the parts of the left and the right sides are equal. Example here in the Buddhist temple, the left and the side of this building or temple is equal in measurement and in shape or form. Still on horizontal balance, the parts on the left and the right sides are equal. So this is horizontal balance. The left and the side of the right is equal. Rhythm, let's go to rhythm. It's a repeated use of line, shape, color, texture, or pattern. Types: regular rhythm, graduated rhythm, random rhythm, and gradated rhythm. Okay, so we have here example of regular rhythm. So there is a repetition of design, and repetition is almost seemingly the same as rhythm. An element is repeated at the same repetition interval each time. So same interval, same timing. That's why it is called rhythm. So rhythm is a little bit different from repetition, because repetition can exist without same interval of time and same space. Okay, let's go on. Regular rhythm, what is this? An element is repeated at the same repetition interval each time. So this is regular rhythm. There is also what we call an interrupted rhythm. This is called random rhythm. The beats of the element are random or at irregular intervals. Example of that is the Saint Basil Church in Moscow. The turret towers, did you notice, guys? It has different sizes, but it has rhythm. These are the towers, and each tower have different span and different dimensions, and also different colors, and also the dome design. This is a specialized dome design. Also have different textures and design and colors. So that is random rhythm. Gradated rhythm, the repeated elements is identical with the exception of one detail, increasing or decreasing gradually with its repetition. Example here from this dimension of the building, from number 1 to number 2, it's getting higher. So that is gradated, coming from the root word grade. Gradated. Okay. Gradated rhythm. The repeated element is identical with the exception of one detail, increasing or decreasing gradually with its repetition. So this is example of decreasing element on its repetition. So from the bottom it is large and becoming smaller on top. But the rhythm is there only that it is gradated, and it's either increasing or decreasing gradually with its repetition. Another example of gradated rhythm is the pagoda. It is a religious structure in Buddhism or in Taoism. Now let's go to emphasis. The feature in a design that attracts one eye, the focal point. Emphasis can be achieved through size, placement, shape, color, and or use of lines. Example is the ceiling mosaic in Park Gruel, the Mosque of Egypt. So emphasis, something that achieved through size or by placement or by shape or color or use of lines, or it can attract one eyes. That is the focal point. So here is example of emphasis. So the emphasis is on this structure here. Proportion and scale, comparative relationship between elements in a design with respect to size. Example 3 to the ratio of 5. 3:5 ratio is known as the golden mean. So that is proportion and scale, comparative relationships between elements in a design with respect to size, and the golden mean is 3:5 ratio. Movement. There is a movement in design, or that is a flow or feeling of action by using diagonal lines or curved lines. Contrast. Noticeably different can be created with color, proportion, scale, shape, and texture. Unity. Unity is achieved by the consistent use of lines, color, material, and or texture within a design. Okay, so unity. There is a unity even though the towers of this church has different sizes. Thank you so much guys for watching the video, and don't forget to answer questions at the end. Alright guys, here are the questions for you to answer on a piece of white bond paper, and of course send your answer sheets. Make that the picture or the JPEG. You can send it right to our Google Classroom through the email. Okay, and just keep the hard copy for further notice of that. Now let's go to the questions. Number 1, how is balance used in architecture? What is principle of design in balance? What are the 7 principles of architecture? What are the 5 types of balance in architecture? How does balance affect architectural design? How does the balance affect compositions? What is architecture design principles? Or what are the architecture design principles? What are architectural design principles? So these two have the same meaning. Okay, so just delete the first one. Okay, just answer the second one. What are the architectural design principles? What are the elements of the principles of architecture? What is the role and importance of balance in architecture? This is a good question guys. What is the role and importance of a balance in architecture? What are the 4 types of balance? Why is balance so important in good composition? Another good question about architectural balance. Well, thank you so much guys, and don't forget to subscribe and make lots of comments in our videos, for that will be your attendance. Thank you so much. Ciao for now.